And then this last one of why I personally am not the biggest fan, or why one of the things I regret about this bike doesn't really pertain to this bike, unfortunately, and you'll see what do I mean. So the last and final thing that I want to recommend and give you guys a look, or a hey, pay attention to when you're buying a brand new bike, is who the dealership is and who do they represent. I've heard this so much from other YouTubers who also buy a brand new bike, and they say the bike's phenomenal, but once they get an issue or they have to take it to the dealership, that they usually run into no, that was embarrassing. They usually run into issues with the dealership. So one person in particular that I'm thinking about, I forget who the YouTuber is, but he had a BMW S1000K, and he loved the bike, but every time he had to take it to the dealership, there was always an issue. And I bring this up because, relatively speaking, this bike with dealership stuff have been pretty good. And I would say that because I did make a video about one issue I had with getting the exhaust leak fixed, which wasn't a huge issue. I mean, it did annoy the crap out of me, but it's happened twice. The first time that I never talked about is when I got the quick shifter installed. So I got the quick shifter installed. I went in there, they asked me to test where they've left the lever at, because the lever is adjustable. You can have it higher or lower depending on how you like your foot and everything. Well, the guys in the garage were wearing big old boots and steel toe boots, so they were adjusting the shift lever for their boot because they couldn't really get their foot under. None of the shoes I wear, and even my Dainese boots, are that big compared to their boot, so I have to keep lowering and lowering the shift lever. And if you lowered it enough, apparently it would change the way the programming works. So the first time I took the bike, when I thought like, oh, this seems okay, but I wasn't 100% sure, every time I would go into second gear and ram it into second, instead of going into second, if you don't push hard enough, it would pop into neutral. And well, when you're trying to full throttle and go into second, third, fourth, going into neutral is a no-go. So then I had to take it back to them. They had to reflash it, and then that's when I realized again that, hey, the shift lever was too high from where my foot is, so I was barely pushing it up. They dropped it all the way the lowest they can, which is what they claimed. I feel like you could lower it a little bit more. But then I took it out, and literally it would not want to shift up or down very well. So I asked them, can you please reflash it? They did, and finally they did, and lo and behold, it started working. Right now, I'm gonna be honest, unless I jam